Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, August 2nd. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and the NQ. So, bears accomplished one really big thing today, and that is putting the monthly back into balance on both the ES and the NQ. We're going to look at all these charts and break them down at the end of this video. So that's the one big thing they accomplished. Righty goes out. We all had large gaps that held. So righty goes out with a large gap down, an 11 wide POC, and then take your pick. Do you want to use G as an afternoon rally high or J as an afternoon pullback? Both are pretty much valid as far as how we look at them. NQ goes out with a large gap, 11 wide POC, and an afternoon rally high in G. ES goes out with a large gap, a double distribution day down, a 10 wide POC, that's not 9, it's 10, and a decent range. Now, we both had decent ranges again today. Nothing like yesterday, but they were really nice. The volume, 75 million again. Yesterday was 76. Today, maybe we'll do a little more than that with the after hours. 80 million or so, but still nothing that you want to see on the tape. Now, ES's range was the 9th largest of the year again. We also held the gap down. Gaps down this year have now held 11 out of 21 times. Okay? That's 52.4% of the time. Trend day down held for the second day in a row. 26.8% of those have held. NQ does not get the IB high or low for just the 5th time this year. ES has only not gotten it once. Righty doesn't get an overnight. So a couple of interesting things. The market got tired. The selling got tired after D period. We got our afternoon rally high in G. It tried one more attempt to push. Couldn't make a new low, and then just had tremendous chop the rest of the afternoon. I didn't take a trade in the afternoon. The one trade I should have took, and I didn't, and it was my fault, just asleep at the switch, was NQ in G period. It was a beautiful risk-reward short. Number 1 for an afternoon rally high. Number 2 against the opening. That's the only one I missed. A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E. All I did was short it, okay? Even when E went up, I was picking visual levels to short and getting paid. I got paid when it filled the single prints the first time. I got paid against the 144 when it got up there. I got paid as it went up towards the opening. So I had an excellent morning. And again, the only trade I would have taken, 2 trades I was looking for in NQ late. One as an afternoon rally high, which obviously I missed. The other was if to take out the IB low, which we never did. I did have an offer in ES at 86. I would have loved to have shorted the single print fill. It never got there. So it was a good day, good week overall. Interesting week for the markets as yesterday, after yesterday's close, it still wasn't that bad a week. Obviously, today put a bigger damper on it as we closed down, I don't know, about $12 on the week, something like that. So the bulls are going to have their work cut out. I'm not going to go over destinations because I put this in bigger increments. What I do want to do and spend more time on are the charts to see what is happening here after the first 2 days of August obviously caused a little ripple in the markets. So first, let's start with our favorite one, IWM. Okay? And again, before I start real quick, a lot of people have been joining the room recently. Check me out at CamelbackTrading.org, especially in markets such as these, how we guide you through them in a calm, clear, concise manner. All different price points. So I think it pays its weight in gold if you come and check us out at CamelbackTrading.org. And thank you very much for liking and subscribing to these videos. Okay, IWM, Monthly is up. Yes, the first 2 days of August have taken back a lot of July, but to me it's up. Until we take out a monthly low or have an inside month, we're up. Okay? So the longer time frame in Russell is still up. The weekly is in balance. We have an outside week down. So we had an inside week last week, came out of it to the upside, failed, and then came out of it to the downside and succeeded and closed with an outside week down. How big is the balance? Do you want to call it 3 weeks, the last 3 weeks? I'm okay with that. If it was closer to this week's low, I might say, well, why don't we encompass that week in it? But I won't. So for now, it's a 3-week balance with an outside week down. The daily, down. Blew out of this whole balance, right? Remember we kept going back and forth through this balance? Blew through it to the downside. Now, a little indecision with that doji. Good volume again, 65 million. Yesterday was 71 million. So a lot of that volume on the way up that I said was long-term money, right? Well, it was kind of heavy on the way down. So this level here is going to be very important to hold, or everything that bulls had going for them goes out the window. So I'd be very careful. If I was a righty bull, you want to hold that 203.59 gap down there, or certainly want to bounce off it if it doesn't hold. So monthly is up, weekly is an outside week down and in balance, 3 weeks, and the daily is firmly down. Let's go to NQ and triple Qs. The monthly is balanced. Now, here in both NQ and ES, please keep in mind, we are just forming the balance. It's 2 days into the month. What does that mean? It means if we go down another $100, it could be encompass all of this. It means if we go in reverse and take out last month's high by the end of the month, it's still balanced. We don't know how big the balance will be yet. August is a long month. So for now, it's starting a balance. For now, I would call it a 3-month balance. But if it keeps coming in, that balance will get expanded. Okay? The weekly is down. One-time framing down for 3 weeks. Okay? This level here, 443.06, that was a previous weekly low that came into balance, and then we went up to all-time highs again. Well, this week, we got within $1.50 of it. Let's see if it holds. But for now, it's down. So the monthly's balanced, the weekly is down, and obviously the daily is down. Now, again, we've done above average volume in NQ also, but nothing crazy. Okay? So the monthly is balanced, the weekly is down, the daily is down. Excuse me. ES and SPY. Same thing as I just spoke about in NQ. We have no idea how big this balance will be since the month just started. It's 3 months to start. Next target would be June's low. Okay? NQ got June's low. ES did not. So we're in a 3-month balance. And remember, we talked about that yesterday, how even when we came out of balance to the downside, it never held. But again, we're just forming it. So we'll talk about that later in the month. Weekly is down. One-time framing down, 2 weeks. Out of an outside week down 3 weeks ago. So we'll see. We're going to go test around the 520 level? Remains to be seen. 310 million on the tape. Certainly better than last week's 267 and the week before 255. But nothing crazy. On days like we saw this week, you'd want to see 500 million for the week. Easily. And the daily also down. So look, well, right now we're at 81 million. Again, definitely better than average, but we're not going to come close to being in the top 10 volume, even though our ranges have been in the top 10. So we came out of this balance down. Now, a lot of people, we talked at the end of the day, closing closing down pretty good, down 1.9%, 2.5% in NQ. Will this lead to more selling? The thing that I feel people have to understand is we're still dealing with short-term players, and they're very fickle. So at some point, if short-term players decide to just walk away, okay, you can start taking some of this back. On the flip side, you still have to respect that if they can keep pushing lower. Look what they did for 2 days. Very impressive with the ranges. The other thing you have to keep in mind is if some big players or some, a BlackRock, a JP Morgan, somebody comes out and says, I think the market's capped and we're lightening up on equities. Well, if longer term money decides to come into this market, then things could get very interesting. The other thing I want to show you, and I don't know how much weight to put on it, okay? But we took back that one gap to the upside, right? Only to get a big one today. And we still have this one up here. But look at this. We had that gap up on June 12th. And now this gap down on August 2nd. Can you kind of call this a 35-day island top for now? Well, I don't know what to read into it. Usually an island top, you're leaving 1 day or maybe 2 days, and then you're getting the gap down. Is this significant? I don't know. I really don't. I do know, though, as of now, 35 days worth of longs are underwater. We're below the 20. We're below the 50. It still remains to be seen. I keep an open mind. Like I said, you can have everybody screaming on social media that the bull is dead. Again, I'm not saying that, and you know me. For people who've been in my room and listen to me, I don't say those things. I give both sides of the equation and reasons why. So, for now, the bears should enjoy themselves. They had a good week. They closed with gaps down, and weekly, daily down, and the monthly back inside balance. I hope you had a good week trading. Rest up and enjoy the weekend, and we will speak prior to the opening on Monday.